All right, what up? What up? Iceman is here, right? I don't have a full album review. He gave us 3 albums. Like, I gotta break all of these down. It's a couple songs that I do want to break down. Firm Friends, and it's another one. I'm gonna make a whole different video for it. But Firm Friends, I'm gonna get right into it, right? Like, share, subscribe if you like content like this. I'm breaking down the lyrics, share, man, because I low-key be on it. Like, so Firm Friends, he say, you didn't think I see that you stay silent? It's like you endorsing it all, may as well stand behind them. Like, that almost could apply to Future. Future didn't publicly state too much about Drake. J. Cole was silent. That's why he doubled back on Port Antonio and said, oh no, they say I'm taking sides. Drake, you'll always be my nigga. Like, but later on in the same song, he say, man, I'm so far gone. And then he thanked me later. Like, babe, like, get that out of here. I ain't trying to hear that. All right. That's also, Khaled. Khaled was quiet. But then double back and said, hey, yo, like, I got 2 Drake singles. Like, stop. All right. I stood beside you, thought there was some good inside you. Situations like these, they force you to notice the difference. Like, to see, like, Cole get to shooting at him and Golden Goose, and, like, you basically, like, left me on stuck, and I brought you on my tour. Your highest grossing tour is my tour. All right? Look at me and Neeks, for instance. We know we live different lives. We've been on separate missions. Somebody he apparently did the grassy with. But he said, but I get it. You all want to be the main guy. Like, again, that could apply to Kendrick for, chopping him up for the top spot. You got J. Cole say he's #1. He feeling like Muhammad Ali. Like, explain why most people die not knowing who would have stuck by their side. If it doesn't cross their mind and go along for the ride. And then he gets into verse 2, what I feel like was so dope with him addressing, the people in OVO and like his relationship with certain people like Noel, like him never working with anybody else. And what does somebody do after they've done everything you could have done for everyone? You just do what you should have done since day one. You stick with your day ones. Like, that's the whole Noel verse. And he had that right hand line that was cold. Where my right hand guides the pen along the page until the chapter's done. Like, basically saying, like, awesome, man, as long as I'm alive, Bleak could be a millionaire. Like, as long as I'm straight, my dude, my homies is straight. Breaking down that relationship. You know what I'm saying? And also, kind of like some OVO working for me, or OVO mode. Like, he like, nah, like, the ship is pretty tight over here. Like, let me also address that. Like, I don't want to just address the friends that are flimsy. I want to address the friends that have had my back this entire time. Then, he say, trust me, the odds listen more than it's ever been. Trust me, I'm the highest that I've ever been. The greatest that they've ever seen. I've been alternating from being overseas and listening to beats. Strong opinions from the week for 400 something weeks. Stop. I'm a Patroni, right? Joe drops like every day a week. Between BTS, between like regular episodes, Patreon exclusives, XYZ. He drops every week. So, like, strong opinions from the week for 400 something weeks. They deep-seated resentment or envy, jealous one's envy, because he was also dissing Drake on 4 p.m. in Calabasas. is what's filling up their seats. Well, you know, that's something Joe also addressed too. Like, hey, when Drake drop, I'm going Patreon exclusive. Like, it's something he's already like stated. Like, whenever Drake drops something like this, and it's also something that Drake is highlighting too. Like, man, like you hating and still trying to benefit from me. He said, I've seen goats act like sheeps. Again, back to J. Cole. Yeah, I would say, oh, my dudes told me this and the world want to see blood. And it's like, when do you make your mind up on what you want to do? It's supposed to be one of the goats, right? Why do it seem like he more so a follower? I've seen ghosts act like sheep. Co-workers turn to enemies. Back to Joe. Joe break up with Rory and Maul is what he's alluding to. You're saying, damn, I got enemies. Got a lot of enemies. Niggas trying to drain me of my energy. Right now, me and Conductor, we got more chemistry than MIT. Oh, I don't want no Drake. My apologies. I'm tripping your top three. Back to Cole again. It's obvious, right? My group chat was bumping those oppie guys, but not me. Like begging to get out a ticket. Now they want to cop, please. Back to J. Cole. My son is taking corner kicks in front of Luis Enrique at PSG, and y'all talking about inflating the numbers on DSPs. So on Golden Goose, J. Cole is saying the bots is boosting, you're not pursuing and all of this. Like, he was talking a certain way, all right? Kendrick also referenced bots and saying that Drake uses bots as well. Then right after that, he say, and me having better perspective on life doing DMT, which is the ayahuasca that Kendrick referenced to Meet the Grams. He said, KYSASAP, that's something that you could do for me. Like, it was my first Chanel, I could have posted receipts that would have made niggas read them and weed. Talking to Kendrick right there. Kendrick just, a deal years in the making with Chanel, and he's saying the receipts that he could have posted, of course, like on the surface, an expensive Chanel bag or whatever for a woman be a lot of money. What he's saying is he's sticking to his story, saying, yo, I was telling the truth about what I was saying, and I'm willing to double down and can prove that what I'm saying is true based on what he's saying. Connecting it back to Dot right there. I could have posted receipts that would have made niggas read them and weed. So to me, it sounded like he doubling down on Kendrick right there, with Kendrick having a Chanel deal. Reporting live from the scene where I wasn't supposed to be revived by the EMTs. Yeah, a lot of people kind of wrote him off a little bit. I did not break up a happy home, baby. You pulled up on me. Tell them why you really hate me and what year did she date me. Now, I think what Drake is trying to allude to is a little bit of overlap, seeing as though A$AP Rocky and Rihanna started dating in 2012, and Drake is beefing with Chris Brown over Rihanna So I think what he's trying to allude to is it might be a little fuzzy timeline going on with that. And that's why you really mad at me. I know niggas going crazy as a cop all the items you niggas put up for sale. So like the Tupac ring, the Pharrell jewelry, and Jumbotron. You feel me? Like, that's what he talking about right there. Start a museum in the house, go try someone else. I've been on the longest run. I don't know how to walk away. I definitely feel like that too. Like, I didn't. Why do people expect Drake not to talk about this? So he not supposed to. So J. Cole could talk about the situation. Kendrick is free to do whatever he wants to because he won a battle. Period. Whatever you want to do. And he decided to make an album that was close to home, and it's a really good album, by the way. But like, Why can't he talk about what he like? I don't know. And if everything goes to plan, I would be making a name change from the boy to the man. But y'all just wouldn't understand. Damn, from mass distribution to leading my own version of the revolution. Like right now, if you look at Drake's albums, like I remember when Ross the other day was saying, "Oh, I did a 6-album deal and I had to hustle my way through it, XYZ or whatever," and it looked like he busted a U-turn. Now that we see Drake dropping 3 albums, apparently, it looks like he's trying to fulfill a deal. And if I'm thinking about what Rick Ross was saying, where it being 6 albums, after Certified Lover Boy, you count the 2 Her Loss and the album that he got with Party, and the other albums, you'll get 6 albums. So it's looking like Drake might have got his independence by dropping these 3 albums. Like, and it's crazy because the marketing was so crazy. He had it set up to what we were thinking it was just gonna be 1 album. We was all waiting on Iceman, which is also why that's the only album I listened to from him this weekend. But it's kind of crazy that he kind of flipped it, and now you can see these U-turns, and now you're seeing Rick Ross album dropping on Gamma and knowing that, Drake and Larry Jackson got relationships. Like, business is business. Didn't he get in private arbitration, leads to resolution, beat the game so many times, this shit has got abusive. Again, talking to Rick Ross, where it's like, oh, I had a 6-album deal worth XYZ and we flew in a $50 million plane, and what he was saying in the Apple One interview. But Drake is saying, like, dog, I done outperformed my contract every time. I've outperformed it. Fuck you, artists and producers. I don't want to hear excuses of your plans for future truces. Man, he drew it. He has a hard line with where he's staying with all of this, I could tell. I'm so far gone that a thank me later is useless now. Jesus Christ. References to his first, projects that really took him out of here, but also saying like, Drake, you'll always be my nigga on Port Antonio. It's too late. Like, why are you saying thank me now? Like, you walked off the stage. You apologized and walked off the stage. That was crazy. CTE from trying me and still want another hit. Basically saying the homie bumped his head, made a living off. Oh no, he didn't. Yes, I did. It's because it's the closet and will trust. This ain't the bone to pick. Again, I think he doubling down on Kendrick right there. They say what we doing nice, we running it back. So he trying to get a round 2 out of Kendrick pause. What has Iceman ever done other than that? Even when under attack, y'all don't know the stamina it takes to run up the stats. And that's something that could be said. Like, he got a lot of #1 hits. Got a lot of #1 hits. Then he get into mistaking my sons for brothers, but it won't happen again. Like with Cole saying he's the middle child, you can assume that he's saying that they are, siblings. But one of those, because Cole spoke about being a middle child from multiple perspectives, whether it was in between the era of Kanye and this new generation after him. But another one of those variations could be him basically being in between Drake and Kendrick. And Drake also saying, no, that's my brother. Like, he's a large artist, but then he also say on make them remember was like, they only know you in big markets, not B, C, and D markets. So I feel like Drake is taking a stance like, yo, like, I'm bigger than you. Your highest grossing tour was my tour. I gave you your first #1 hit. And I did it off the guise of friendship. you know, the line after that, though, he says, you better check your tone. I'm not one of your little friends. Like, he's basically telling Cole, like, hey, if you diss me and you apologize, that's not going to get me to stop. You did that with Kendrick. Cool. You know, get your shit off. But if you try me like that, it's not going to go that way. I'm telling you. You letting them know it's like, hey, it's a trap door behind that. Like, don't try that.